Why is it that when it's hot outside, the young niggas bring the Glocks outside? Why? We want to know why, right? Well, I'll show you why. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into this video right now. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Everything 414 podcast. Y'all already know who I am myself. You feel me? I am Carnage Slaughter. And a lot of times when I come to this podcast, when I come to my station in the morning, I want to come and I want to come with open arms, right? But today we got a story about a shooting that took place. And I think it's getting worse and worse, man. It seems like the hotter it get, these young niggas want to bring guns and Glocks out. This right here, this story took place, you feel me, yesterday. Because yesterday was a wild day, it seemed like the hotter it get, it seemed like the more violence, tend to take place out there. And I ain't gonna front my move. A lot of times you can tell that the violence do not got to start. A lot of times you can tell that it ain't no cause for a lot of that bullshit out here to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it's people out here trying to get to what they plan on doing that day. It's people out there that's really, making ends meet. They're trying to collect $1 bag. But here on this day, we have a police shooting. And this ain't the only one, but I'm gonna go over a few with y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all why we need to change and why is it a need to change so fast. And let me update this title. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of this shit, man, is self-driven, is brought upon ourselves. So anyway, let's dive into this video, man, and see what took place,
Milwaukee police shot someone tonight near 66th and Sheridan. That's where we find 12 News' Emily Pofall.
Emily, as we come back out to you live, has anything else changed from the scene? Certainly still a large presence there behind you.
Well, Milwaukee police officers did just push us back from the scene a little bit. We're near 64th and Sheridan, but we can still get a vantage point to show you what's going on. So, like I said before, I haven't seen any sort of evidence markers or cones out here indicating that the shooting was outside. We don't know exactly where it was at this point, but we have seen officers focusing on the inside, it looks like, of this apartment complex here at 64th and Sheridan. There's dozens of squads. We did get some information from the Milwaukee Fire Department. They said that they took one person to the hospital. Don't know any more about that person's condition. I can also tell you that as we were driving into the scene here, just out at 64th and Silver Spring, to my left, there's the incident command post, and that indicates that the officers are going to be here for a very long time, investigating thoroughly, figuring out exactly what happened. I'll give you one more look at what we can see over by this apartment complex. There's also, mixed in with these officers, there's a lot of people that live around here that have come out of their homes. This is a fairly residential area. There's a lot of kids that we've seen as we were driving in. I'm right next to a child development center, and again, we're going to be here for a while as we see that incident command post, and we know that the officers here are investigating right now. We're going to talk to more of these officers and get some updates on what happened. Luckily, our sources say it sounds like officers are okay. Again, the fire department says that one person was taken to the hospital, but we don't have any more information on how serious these injuries are. Of course, once we get those updates, we'll bring them to you.
All right, Emily Pofall, they are reporting live near 66th and Sheridan. Emily, thank you so much. We'll continue keep everybody updated on air and online tomorrow morning at 40.
Absolutely. Before we go,
that right there, that's a typical right in Milwaukee. I think a lot of times we normalize this shit. I don't know why. I don't normalize it. I really don't. I don't find justice, or I don't find peace, nor satisfaction in normalizing drama. I never did. I don't think that has been part of my regimen to normalize drama. But I noticed that a lot of people do normalize it, and they take their lives for granted, and they take the chances that they have for granted. Why? I don't know. Me, I wouldn't. If it was my life, if it was my chance, gang, I would take every chance that I get, with full accountability, and be able to walk the line that I want to walk, or walk the line that I want to see others walk around me. You understand what I'm saying? You know, because at the end of the day, you get one life, right? I mean, don't get it twisted. It's a life after this. Yes, it is, and you will enter that realm, but you get one life, right? And for the simple fact of that, me personally, like I said, I wouldn't be out here trying to jeopardize my life, trying to play so tough. I think that's what's taking place in Milwaukee streets, and not only in Milwaukee streets, but surrounding neighborhoods and areas. You feel me? States like yours, mine, so on and so forth. It's normalized when it shouldn't be. It don't have to be. And people find this as something that make them tough. People find this as a way to get they clout, they flowers, as they call it. You feel me? They cool points. And I don't think this is actually representing anything in a positive notion for you. You feel me? If you trying to set some type of image, or you trying to set some type of message out there, you feel me, to the youth or to the elderly or to just your community, period. I don't think shooting and getting in harm's way or bringing violence to your community is the way to do that. You feel me? No, I think promoting positivity, promoting togetherness in your community. I think standing for something, you feel me, and like family, standing for teaching and guiding the community in the right way. I think that's the way anybody would want to go. Definitely, if you're trying to promote productivity, if you're trying to promote positivity, if you're trying to promote motivation and inspiration, I think that's the route you want to go. Personally, I wouldn't recommend the other way. You know what I'm saying? That's just real shit. I wouldn't recommend you shooting the other route. But anyway, like I told you, I got another video. Because in my city, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, gang, a lot of this shit tend to take place back to back. It does, and I don't know why. Like I said, there's a lot of other opportunities in my city that people can be apprehending, or it's a lot of other endeavors in the city that people can be trying to dive into, but yet they choose to be their most harmful self, be their most hurtful self. And y'all know what they say, hurt people, right? So I got to show y'all this next clip as I do this right here. Definitely as I twist up, you feel me? If you blaze up, gang. Wake up and blaze up. Hey, don't wait up. Yo, I'ma stay up. Hey. So, at the end of the day, like I said, this normalization of this shit is not cool. We ain't gonna normalize that. Not in my I think the city can turn everything around. Because check this out. We got a lot of good folks in the city. We got celebrities in the city. We got entrepreneurs in the city. People coming to Milwaukee just because money is floating here now. We got a lot of tourists coming here. We got a lot of people that just want to experience Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And if you got a lot of you young niggas out there doing the killings and robberies and shit, y'all all on corners, beating people and shit, harming people, gang, ain't nobody finna come want to visit. What? I wouldn't want to visit your goddamn city if I got an idea I'm gonna get hurt. That's just real. I don't want to come out there if I got an idea, or if I know that, look, I'm gonna probably have to be dodging bullets. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to Chicago. Every time you go up there, you better believe you dodging bullets. You got to be out the way. My folks like, oh yeah, it's beautiful up there. Yes, it is indeed. Don't ever get it twisted. It definitely is. But the whole factor and the prime factor is that don't nobody want to be fucking running from shells trying to live just because they thought they was finna go out here and have a great time. You understand? Like, because that's the whole mere fact of it. That's what everybody going through. Anyway, let's dive into this next video, gang, that I got for y'all, man. Let's go. So we can see how Milwaukee is fucking, violating the opportunities that we got, gang. And then I can even show y'all as far as what is anybody doing around the city to stop it. Do we got solutions? Do we got leaders in our city still to stop this drama? They killed Big Teasy, you understand what I'm saying? And he was one of the ones, man, promoting Milwaukee music. He trying to make sure artists is getting seen. He connecting other celebrities to Milwaukee because they know who he is. So they coming down here, they flying down here, checking us out. You understand what I'm saying? So and dumbass young niggas, they fucked that up, Niggas fucked that up, gang. So condolences to him and his family. And we finna get into this video, gang, as I break this ass blunt down. This motherfucker be, I hate these billionaires. These billionaire blunts be so fishy and funny, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They be fishy. They don't want to come apart. You know, they ain't trying to give me no leeway. Anyway, yeah, let's dive into this one, man. Let's go.
News tracker, well, some Milwaukee's North Friday afternoon. You can see officers shot and killed a 22-year-old man.
He was my only son.
Delynn Brown says police killed her son, 22-year-old Jalen Brown.
They didn't even tell me that he was shot. I learned he was shot from Channel 12 News.
Police say it started a block away at 84th and Call after a 911 caller reported an attempted robbery. When officers arrived, investigators say the suspect told officers.
What's crazy is, gang, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just seen this. I seen this case when it was taking place, right? And I'm sure a lot of us did. We seen this. Definitely, if you stay in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you definitely was alerted of this case right here, of this scene. And I really didn't know what was going on because I got a homeboy that lived up there. And you know, I was hoping the best. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Shit, I'm like, damn. I hope my boy up there, because you know he live up there. I hope everything good. I hope it's situated. You know, and I know how I get up there on them ends, man. It's wild. If y'all from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you already know how to get up there, man. They get wild when you get up there in them high numbers. I don't give a fuck if it's Mill Road, Brown Deer. It get wild. See, y'all think it's calm and cool and collected out there. Hell no. It's just as bad as it is in the hood, my nigga. It's still a hood. You still got ghetto black people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just as ghetto, gang. Like, it's just as ghetto. But I seen this case and I was like, damn, I hope my boy up there good. And that's when y'all be on Facebook, you'll see everybody like, check on your people, check on your people. Yeah. Do your history on your people. Shit. Do the history, do your homework when it comes to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and checking on your people. Definitely when situations happen. Do your homework. But this case I heard of, you know, and I just seen this cat name this morning, you know, Jalen J. Brown. Condolences to him and the family. I don't know what they was going through technically. I don't know what he was going through. Hopefully he had his mind together. Hopefully his mental was correct. And obviously, unfortunately, it do seem like it was not correct. You understand? Seemed like he possibly could have needed some extra help. And it's possible that the family could have gave him help. And you know, sometimes right now in the city and the states we living in, you feel me? I don't care where you at, my house, your block, my block. Family do not reach out and try to help you. Definitely if you got a mental problem. If you got mental health issues, or if you just been dealing with some shit like problems and stress, man, 9 times out of 10 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, your family ain't reaching out helping you. If anything, they talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Behind your back, if anything. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up because they supposed to be there to help you. They supposed to be there to guide you through these problems, right? Yeah, them the same people you looking and leaning on to, you know, get you out of these situations mentally that you can probably go confide in and talk to. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10 nowadays in 2026, definitely in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you gotta watch who you confide in, and you gotta watch who you know, tell everything to, because them be the same motherfuckers out there talking about you and spilling your beans. So I can imagine it made it that much harder for him to, you know what I'm saying, probably even be able to get some type of understanding or get, you know, whatever it was on his chest off his chest. Because like I said, a lot of times people just be want to communicate. They want to talk. They want somebody to listen to them, hear them out. You feel me? Understand them, or even be able to give them some type of advice, whether they're wrong or right, in whatever, you know, situation they're in. Right? That's what I believe. Right? Because it's like this: if I got a problem and I got a situation, gang, if I come to you and I'm telling you about it, you better believe I'm not asking you to, you know, fix it for me. I'm not asking you that. No, not at all. But what I am doing is I'm coming to you probably maybe so I can vent about it. Maybe I can get it off my chest. Maybe, you know. I think a lot of people do that nowadays. But in Milwaukee, you got to understand, man, not everybody care about what you're going through. Not everybody want to hear your problems. I even heard one person tell a person, look, man, fuck your problems. Everybody got problems. I got the same problems. That don't mean not get that person no advice. That don't mean not talk to them and, you know, tell them everything gonna be okay. That's probably the only thing they want to hear is, look, everything gonna be all right, gang. You got this, you strong enough. You can do it. Not telling them, man, fuck your problems. Nigga, everybody got problems. What type of shit is that? That's anyway, let's keep going here.
To shoot him as he held a revolver to his head and threatened to shoot officers. They say he ran into a nearby apartment building and ignored orders to drop the weapon, leading to an hour-long standoff. Before the deadly shooting, officers say they tried to use a taser when he came outside to get water and a cigar.
The suspect then retreated up the stairs to the landing in the common hallway. There, officers then discharged their duty firearms at the suspect, striking him.
He came down the stairs and then went back up. Was he armed when he came downstairs to get the water and the cigar?
So at this time, we don't know whether or not he was armed because the hallway is a little bit dark. At the time that he did come down, we did attempt to use, like I said, less than lethal options to attempt to get him into custody. But he
Yo, wait, that was a good question, man, because I did hear that, you know? I'm not sure if everybody heard that, you feel me? Let me finish doing it. Let me see. I gotta go back. Let me go back, gang. I got to go back because I know they didn't just say they shot. Now look, it was another white man. It was a standoff recently in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they had a white guy, you know, standing off with a white guy. And this white guy, shit, he had an AR-15. He's standing off with them. You know what I'm saying? And not one time did they let off a round at this man. This man come out the house, he aiming at him. You understand? He got his fucking AR-15 held high. You know, like he in a fucking army or some gang, ready to go to war again. And they did not shoot that man not one time. You know what I'm saying? They did not shoot that man not one time. That shit is crazy. I know. And the same thing I'm thinking, because, you know, right away they want us to think it's or start some racial shit. They want us to go right to bat and be like, hey, yo, but I'm gonna be even realer. You can't ignore the simple fact that y'all took this man out. Just the only way y'all can get him to calm down was to kill him. Make this shit make sense. And then it said he came downstairs to get a bottle of water and a cigar. So during that time, he was coming down to get the cigar and a bottle of water. Y'all probably approached him and told him, drop the weapon, and he ignored y'all, kept going. And due to the fact he got a weapon, y'all already feel threatened, y'all unloaded. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can think of. Y'all unloaded. Anyway, let's dive and let's see what the fuck is really being said. Listen in detail too, y'all. Listen in detail, because, you know, it get wild.
unfortunately retreated back up the stairs, discharged their duty firearms at the suspect's.
Police surrounding an apartment complex after investigating 3 officers shot and killed 22-year-old man.
He was my only son.
Delaney Brown says police heard 2-year Jalen Brown.
They didn't even tell me that he was shot. I learned he was shot from Channel 12 News.
Police say it started a block away at 84th and Call after a 911 caller reported an attempted robbery. When officers,
I feel they at least could have called the mom and asked, you know, do you got a mental health problem? Can you come to the scene and calm this man down? He's been in the house for an hour. We trying to get him out. You feel me? Can you come to the scene and see if you can help us lure your son out and drop the firearms so we can, you feel me, arrest him and furthermore do our investigations on the case? I don't know if they do that for white people. I don't know if they do that for Asians, Mexicans. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe that could have been one of the, you know what I'm saying, scenarios that could have played out instead of just fucking going right to violence, you know? Because on black folks, they do automatically go right to violence. And we normalize that too. And I'm tired of that, gang. We normalize that. We normalize them attacking us with firearms just because we armed, right? And like I told y'all, you know, I'm gonna find that video before this episode is over. I'm gonna find that video of the white guy standing off with these cops with his AR-15 and how he didn't get shot. I'm gonna find it, you know? And we can do our own comparisons. But anyway, let's dive. Let's keep.
Arrived, investigators say the suspect told officers to shoot him as he held a revolver to his head and threatened to shoot officers. They say he ran into a nearby apartment.
Prime example right there. My point. He telling the officer, shoot me, and then he hold his own revolver to his head and then threatened. Wait, come on now, y'all make that make sense. They say he held his gun to his own head and said, shoot me, and then threatened to shoot an officer with his own gun to his head. Do that sound like a mental issue or not? You ain't got to be fucking Danny the rocket scientist to understand that this young black male, 22 years old of age, probably had a mental issue. You know, definitely once he said, shoot me, he want to die by, you know, suicide by a cop. You know, that tells you he got some type of mental issues going on in his head that probably need to be dealt with, you know, therapeutically. But at the end of the day, these cops, they went by they book, they job, they went by procedure. You understand protocol, and their protocol was not to let up. You feel me? It's a black man, never let up, because at the end of the day, he's more aggressive, he's more violent, he's more vicious. You feel me? He might got more intentions to harm and hurt. At the end of the day, this shit is all stereotypical, right? It is. And the reason I say that, because when it comes to us black men and dealing with cops, you know, it's a known fact that when we are approached, or, you know, when we are in the same scene or scenario as a cop, we tend to get a little more nervous. We tend to get a little more frightened. We tend to get a little more of this mental notion that, I'm already in trouble. I already know they finna treat me like this because I'm a black man. I already know I'm finna get down to worse because I'm a black man, or I'm finna get disbelieved because I'm a black man. We know this. So it's not far-fetched for us to see a young man act that way, or us to see a young man get frightened. He maybe had felons. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a felon carrying a firearm, could have had open cases, scared. You understand what I'm saying? But it's all within approach. Now, I ain't gonna lie and say if they would have approached him, you know, in a more calmer way, if he would have reacted the same way, because he probably could have reacted the same way. What? Like, did they even try? You know what I'm saying? Was that even a option? Was it?
Building and ignored orders to drop the weapon, leading to an hour-long standoff. Before the deadly shooting, all tried to use a taser. He came outside, water, and a cigar.
The suspect retreated this thing in the hallway. They discharged their duty at the suspect striking him.
He came down the stairs and then went back up. Was he armed when he came downstairs to get water and the cigar?
We did into you, like I said, retreated back up the stairs. We weren't able to place him in the custody at that time, where that's when we had the deadly encounter.
Was he
was armed because the hallway is a little bit dark. At the time that he did come down, we did attempted to use, like I said, less than lethal options to attempt to get him into custody, but he unfortunately retreated back up the stairs. That's when we
about his mental health issues, and they said that they were going to negotiate.
And I just mentioned about the mental health issues. I just mentioned that, right? Because usually when this happens, when this take place, gang, the black person usually always have some mental health issues. You got to think about it. Due to the fact of the environment we raised in, you feel me? The situations we go through, the trauma that we've been through throughout our lives, the family trauma, and so on and so forth. Black men usually always, when there's trouble behind them, they got some type of mental health problems, some type of situations or issues that haven't been, disclosed or talked about or even situated. And at that point in time, sometimes that lead up to them, snapping out. Sometimes that lead up to them blowing up like a bomb. And at the end of the day, they got nobody to talk to or calm them down. Like mom even said that I told them about my son's mental health issues. So due to the fact mom said that, the son got mental health issues, they should have took this case and this situation a little more, easier, a little more lighter on the light side, man. Don't get it twisted. A gun is a gun, right? A gun is a gun that can kill you at any moment. It can kill you in the blink of an eye. But you guys got pistols with, overcapacitated rounds, and it's more of y'all. You guys could have actually negotiated him down and got this firearm out of his hand some way, shape, form, or fashion. Definitely if y'all intentions was to do so. You see, and that's the problem. I think these cops' intentions never be to really talk somebody out of trouble, never really be to, because they wouldn't make money. If they run around the city doing this all day gang, if they run around Milwaukee, Wisconsin, talking everybody out of trouble, giving everybody a break after a negotiation, you feel me? They wouldn't have a red cent in their pocket. They couldn't pay a bill, right? Because that ain't protocol. That's not the job. Their job is to, eventually arrest somebody. Their job is to eventually bring somebody to justice. Well, and they hindsight, they form a fashion of justice. And at the end of the day, if this is justice, if this is they form a fashion of justice, taking the life of a young Black man who possibly had mental health issues and didn't know how to handle himself emotionally, couldn't control his emotions, and didn't know how to articulate what he, felt or needed to vent off his chest, then somebody need to reiterate these motherfucking Milwaukee Police Department officers a new protocol book and a new job. They need to move the fuck around, put them in a whole different field. You understand what I'm saying? Because this shit don't make no sense, man. Now, like the last guy, we just had another guy sentenced for killing an officer. And what people will do right away, they'll compare this story to that story. Well, what about that? What about the people who's aiming? Yeah, them motherfuckers, they deserve to get what they get. If they got intentions to harm another human being, even if he's an officer, a firefighter, I don't care what the hell he is, a concrete worker, cement worker. If they intentions is to harm anybody, you know what I'm saying, that breathe and bleed like them, then yes, they deserve everything they got. But like in a standoff gang, I think sometimes the same way y'all do standoffs with the Caucasians, y'all can do the same thing with the African American males, man. Let's just be real.
To get them out safely, and they didn't.
TJ is joining us live outside police headquarters downtown. MPD has 15 days to release body camera video from today's shooting.
Yeah, that's right, Deanna. That's policy for critical officer-involved shootings here in the city of Milwaukee. Police also say that while investigating the shooting, another victim reported to police that Brown tried to rob them at 84th and Call.
And like I said, it's based off a robbery. And that's real large in Milwaukee, right? That's a big thing that's large in Milwaukee. I ain't gonna lie. People normalize robberies. Milwaukee, that's the lifestyle you gotta live by. No, you don't. Don't get it twisted. You feel me? Because it's so much money out here to be made, right? It is. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. Y'all know that, man. Hey, wherever you at, you know how to get a hustle started, right? If you a hustler, if you born for us, no, is there some of y'all like outright stealing, taking from them without having to harm people, and that's excellent, I think, right? That's some crazy shit, though. I ain't gonna lie, but I gotta still find that video for y'all. Oh, dang, it's another one. This is 2 months video, right? Let's do this. Because like I told y'all, this shit get hectic, and as it get hectic, man, it's hard to explain. It is. I got one right here, and then I'm gonna go to the Caucasian video where he didn't get shot and killed, right? Because it get wild. They do know that. They said experience and what's the name? So what I'm gonna do is this. We running that motherfucker just like that.
Tonight, and Milwaukee police shoot and kill a homicide suspect who they say fired at them first. 8 officers returned fire.
All this came after an all-day search for that suspect and a chase that ended on Milwaukee's south side. Bria Jones is live with what.
Well, Mary, here's what we know. Milwaukee police say that a 31-year-old male suspect who was linked to a homicide from earlier today has been killed after firing at officers. I want you to take so you can see some of those evidence markers on the ground. Here's what we know from Milwaukee police. They say that 8 officers.
Now, when it comes to this gang, I didn't know this guy was, wanted for murder, homicide. A lot of times, I think that be the case with these guys, right? We never know if they want it. We never know anything. We don't. I think a lot of they people be knowing, maybe. I believe so. I wouldn't put it past them. Let me refresh this because I don't like what it's doing right now. I just don't be getting it. Like, gang, if you're doing so much out here in the streets, which you shouldn't be, my nigga. The only thing you should be doing is getting your shit together, right? Getting your life together, focused on that. And I think a lot of motherfuckers don't. They put themselves in, bad predicaments. You know what I'm saying? They put themselves in situations. Come on, man. No. I couldn't do it. It just wouldn't be me. I couldn't. I don't see myself being in that type of. You know what I'm saying? Limelight. No motherfuckers who just want to find myself in trouble all the time, or want to find myself getting clarification or the street clout. I don't see it. You understand what I'm saying? And I never see that shit. Like, that ain't the lifestyle. Fuck you talking about? That just ain't the lifestyle. Definitely not. If it's a lot of money out here you can attack. It's places and people you can meet. Things you can do, shit you can create out here, my nigga, for yourself. Like, stop playing. Anyway, let's get into it. And I restarted this video because this month, y'all see it was acting kind of funny, right? Acting a lot of funny. But let's dive into this video because
and Milwaukee police shoot and kill a homicide suspect who they say fired them first. 8 officers returned fire.
All this came after an all-day search for that suspect and a chase that ended on Milwaukee's south side. Bria Jones is live with what police had to say at a briefing just a little bit ago. Bria.
Well, Mary, here's what we know. Milwaukee police say that a 31-year-old male suspect who was linked to a homicide from earlier today has been killed after firing at officers. I want you to take a look at the scene. It's still active. Going to zoom in so you can see 8 officers discharge a weapon and they are now orchestrated. Take a listen to the gunfire captured on a home surveillance sent to us by our viewer.
Hey, get in here. Come on, get in here. Come on, hey, get in here. Come on.
Again, Chief Norman says this is all connected.
And that wasn't even all the gunfire. It was a lot, moms was out there yelling, man, family members out there yelling, screaming and shit, It was bad, man. It was real bad. And we normalized this, and this is what we normalize in the city. This the shit I be talking about that's by far out of hand. You understand? And it got to change at some point. But let's finish this one so I can show y'all that video, like I said, of the white guy in a standoff and what took place.
A homicide from this morning at 7th and Mitchell. At that scene, we were told that a 27 7-year-old was killed. Now, officers were looking for a vehicle tied to that homicide. Now, officers say that car was also involved in a shots fired incident shortly after near the 1700 block of 35th Street. Now, around 4:45 this evening, officers attempted to make a stop. Now, the suspect, they say, tried to get away. There was a car chase that ended when the vehicle crashed on South 35th Street near National. Chief Norman says multiple cars were involved in that crash. We know that a 34-year-old who was in a separate vehicle was taken to the hospital with non-fatal injuries. Several people in the area described what they heard next as a shootout.
About 40 shots, just a lot of shots, and then I heard the sirens.
The suspect exited his vehicle and fired shots toward officers, at which time several officers returned fire, subsequently striking the suspect. The suspect firearms were recovered. No one else was struck by the gunfire.
That 31-year-old male suspect was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Police say they recovered 2 firearms from the suspect. The 8 officers that discharged their weapons range from ages 26 to 35 with 7 months to 14 years of service on the job. At this time, Milwaukee police say they are also looking for other unidentified individuals who may have been involved in this incident. The Wauwatosa Police Department is leading the investigation. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Bria Jones, Fox 6 News.
And hopefully ring cams, maybe some surveillance video can help them track down those other people that they're looking for. All right, Bria Jones, thank you for the update tonight. In the meantime, the Milwaukee Police Association reacting to the situation, saying in part, quote, when suspects are fleeing from homicide investigations, when officers are engaged in high-risk encounters like the one tonight, it reinforces what many in this community already know. Serious violence remains a persistent and immediate threat.
There we have it with that video. And as I told y'all, you know, this shit, it get the popping in my city, right? It get the popping in my city, you know, but like I said, it's to a point where it's starting to get scary for elderlies, for the kids out there. Hold on. Let me find this video. Let me see. Because dude, like, was it the deals? Let me double check. And when I say it be blowing me, because you can't separate these cases, right? You can't separate these last 12 hours. Is this one money? And I said prompted the massive tactical response. Hold on, stand up that last 12 hours. I don't know which one this is. And don't get it twisted. I ain't saying all black cases, you know, in was it a Kenosha one? All black cases in, you know, like that. It probably was this one. Right. Let's double check.
Data everywhere, and not an insight to see.
We begin with breaking news. A day-long standoff on Milwaukee's far north side. Police tell 12 News they've been at 67, a very active scene where you are.
Yeah, very much so. It's definitely been quite the day. We've been here since 5 o'clock this evening, and we've been talking with people directly who live in this neighborhood who tell us police have been on scene here since early this morning, as early as 6 a.m. according to one neighbor that lives in this neighborhood. Take a look at this video from earlier. This is here at the scene. You can see officers in full tactical gear with guns drawn, focusing on a home near 67th and Brentwood, a heavy armored truck in the middle of the street as well. You see it there. One neighbor says he heard officers this morning use a megaphone and call out for someone in the home, saying they had an arrest warrant. Since then, we've continuously seen officers engage with the home. At one point, an officer threw some sort of grenade, and then we saw smoke or gas pour out of the home. Now, we're still waiting on official information from police, but neighbors say officers on scene still haven't told them exactly what's going on here.
I've never seen a road blocked off this far this much of the road blocked off. So yeah, I'm pretty concerned. I mean, I've lived here since I was 4 years old.
TJ, what have you learned about any possible injuries?
Well, just about an hour ago, Kendall did ask an officer on scene here if there were any injuries. He said there were not. Since then, I've tried to ask a different officer on scene here who tells me he's not giving me any.
Well, no, I don't believe that was it. Let me see. See, it was definitely a different one. The guy had an AR-15. Sorry about that bump on the microphone. Yeah, and the guy didn't get killed at all. You understand what I'm saying? It was wild. I'm like, whoa. Was it Fredonia? Maybe. Let me see. I don't. Could have been Cedarburg. Let me double check.
A standoff in Fredonia ends hours now. The sheriff is answering questions about exactly what happened out there. Brett Lemoyne shows us how law enforcement got the suspect out.
Monday afternoon.
It's sad that it had to go that way, but at the end of the day, I know that was the safest thing to do.
Fredonia resident LaShara Thomas Williams had to get out and see for herself what had impacted her all weekend long.
I was getting ready to go to sleep and I heard something like that.
Starting on Thursday night and lasting for 38 hours, law enforcement in Ozaukee County tried to bring a standoff to a peaceful end.
As long as he remained in his home, we were confident the community was safe.
Sheriff Christy Knowles says the 37-year-old homeowner admitted to playing loud music and firing shots into his yard. Knowles says he threatened to kill anyone who came inside.
Just with some of our drone footage, we were able to see some of the weapons inside the home, and there were a lot. There was a lot of firepower in that home.
Knowles says the man expressed a, quote, distrust in government. If you look closely, you can see photographs of two Democratic governors posted on a tree in his backyard. Police used gas, drones, robots, and flashbangs to get the man out. Teams tore into the home to get a closer look. Knowles says he stayed on the second floor and wouldn't budge. Finally, police sprayed water through the windows.
Yo, now this guy had to have been a white guy. You feel me? As y'all heard her say, there was a lot of firepower in that house. And he got him out. He was arrested eventually. And he also threatened to kill anybody who came near his home to stop him. And as y'all can see, he got two government officials' photos, tagged and pinned to his trees as fucking firing targets, man. You let that been a black guy. You let that man been a black guy. Do you know how much firepower would have got unleashed on his house? And this is one of the prime examples. I'm not trying to make it like a race war or anything like that, but at the end of the day, this is one of the prime examples I'm talking about. They make it like, hey, yo, shit, we normalize us, our black men, women getting killed. We normalize that, like that's okay, that's cool. That shit ain't okay by a long shot. You understand what I'm saying? It's not. But at the end of the day, I can't, verify or justify, like the situation on 64th of Sheridan. If you were out there armed robbing people, you know what I'm saying? You robbing people with firearms and you trying to take everything they got. I can't promote that. I don't promote that at all. That's too normalized too in the hood. Right now, that's the only thing black people worry about the most. You, as a black man, you walking out your door right now, the only person you got to worry about is another black man robbing you, taking things from you. You ain't looking at no Chinese man or no white man or no old white man down the road robbing you. You feel me? You might get kidnapped and all that extra ass shit from them, but they not finna walk up on you and, hey, nigga, drop everything you got. Nigga, I need all that. They not. And then if you ain't got nothing, they ain't finna shoot you in your motherfucking face. You feel me? That ain't going on with them. At the end of the day, though, with our race, we got some of the most bogus, heinous backdoor ass shit taking place. And then we want to justify it when we get murdered by another white cop or something like that. But you got to take a look at what we're doing. Milwaukee, definitely us. When we gonna change? Black man, black women, when we gonna change? We got to learn to look up, lift our chin up, and keep our head up and understand that it's power that lies within us. It's power that lies within you, gang. You got a voice. You understand what I'm saying? All you got to do is sit down, make your podcast, or sit down, write your book or something. Put your voice, put your energy out there in the most positive and productive way. That way, these other motherfucking races and these other people of different cultures can leave your black ass alone. That way, you can succeed. But it's not hard. You understand? All you got to do is really apply yourself, embody the knowledge that's being taught to you, use it. You understand? Look, I love y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep y'all heads up. Stay safe out there, man. Make sure your children is in the right place this summer, because this summer is finna get hot. It's finna get reckless, and it's finna be a lot of murders, man. And y'all want to keep y'all family safe. Look, I love y'all. I am out.